Zero is the latest inclusion to the TEPPEN mobile card game. He is a fantastic addition, and new purple hero joins the fray alongside the set Haunted Memories. Now, purple has typically been known for kind of being a little bit tricky with a lot of negates and return to hand effects, but Zero in comparison, his hero arts, they feel a little bit more straightforward. They seem to focus mostly on building up the memory and also being aggressive. So he's got 3, as do all the heroes. We're starting with Fight Against Inner Demons, which lets you add a Maverick or Maverick Hunter randomly to the EX pocket. These are 2 powerful spells which we'll go over in a bit, which can add to your memory account as well as just impact the board greatly. Next, he also has Rakuhoha. This is a spike launch-esque effect which does split damage among all the enemy units and increases in damage the more memory you have. And his last art, Tenkuha, is similar to Devil Breakers. So he's taking a lot of different aspects from different heroes. Tenkuha, of course, gives +2 attack and combo for 1 attack, lets you sneak through a lot of extra damage. Now for this deck that we're about to show you, we are going with Fight Against Inner Demon. The ability to add spell cards to your EX pocket that also have really strong effects is no joke, and is going to help us build up our memory. Now you may be wondering, what is all this memory talk? Well, memory is the new mechanic that came in Haunted by Memories. It is a counting mechanic which keeps track of how many actions you've resolved during the game. Now keep in mind, this counts on the resolution, not when you cast it. So if you're playing a spell that has memory 4 and your memory count is 3, it will not get its memory 4 ability when you play that spell. You need to have another one resolve first. And the counter will also go up even if the action is negated or fails, so do not worry about losing your actions like that. So with memory out of the way, with our hero art of choice chosen, let's show you this deck. And here we are with the deck. Of course, we still have to go over Maverick and Maverick Hunter. So Maverick is a 1 MP action which destroys a random enemy unit with MP cost 6 or less. That's really huge because 6 MP is typically kind of hard to get rid of. So Maverick, just super strong, 1 MP is going to easily add to our memory count. Maverick Hunter, on the other hand, is going to increase our field presence, our board presence, by giving a friendly unit +2/+4. Those are massive stat boosts, and this deck can really take advantage of that. Getting started with the actions, we've got Z Saber. This gives 1 attack to a friendly unit, so it allows you to push through some sneaky damage or dodge removal that focuses on you having a low attack count. And once you hit that 7 memory, you're going to start giving +3 attack, which is no joke. The Empress Derision is a cheap negate. I believe it's the only negate in the game that has an MP cost of 2, which makes it perfect for responding to your opponent's actions. And it also negates up to a 5 MP or less action. Now the caveat is you have to have an ascended unit, but that isn't too hard with the deck that we've set up. Our last action is Revelation. It's similar to Foresight, but when you hit memory 4, along with drawing a card to your EX pocket, it also returns a random action card from your graveyard to the EX pocket. This is going to allow you to reuse some of your spells and maybe get some extra Maverick or Maverick Hunters off in one game. Oops, we actually had one more spell. It was Demonic Intimidation. This card is so good. Can you believe it's basic? This card is just so powerful. It is no restriction on just returns of 4 MP or less to the EX pocket. It doesn't matter if it's ascended or not, which a lot of those new cards in the Devil Awakens set were, but this card's always going to be fantastic and is an excellent spot removal tool. For our creatures, we're starting off with Pyro Bat. We've got the fantastic Flight package here. So 4/2 with Flight is going to be beefy. We've got Kechawacha, who is going to be a 2/5 and growth 3. So once you play units that have MP cost 3, You can level up, you can get flight, you do it again, you can inflict halt, which is really going to put your opponent on the back foot. And finally, the last of the flight package, the purple flight package at least, is Palomu. Flight for a 1/6. Stats, maybe not exciting, but when you ascend, it's going to halt the unit in front, buying you a lot of time to push damage in with the agility that it also gets. Now keep in mind there's a lot of buff spells in this deck, so you can increase the attack, which is going to increase the power output of Palomu to extraordinary levels. Next, we've got a few ascended cards. That is to make sure our Empress Derision is always going to be active and we can negate any pesky spells. The first is Jury, gives -1 attack to the unit in front, which is just fantastic, and it also becomes a 3/7 when you ascend it, which is not too shabby itself. Our other ascend unit is Oro. This card's ability is insane. It reduces any damage taken to 1, which means they have to do 4 separate instances of damage to it, and it gains +1 attack. A combination of being able to buff this with Maverick Hunter can really just snowball things, and really things get out of control. Now another card that works fantastic with Maverick Hunter is Hell Antenora. When this unit takes damage, it does damage equal to its attack to an enemy random unit. It starts off at a 2/4, but if you buff it up with Maverick Hunter, it's going to be 4/8, so it's going to start doing 4 damage whenever it takes damage, and it's going to have that 8 health to live a lot longer. So you can see a lot of cards in this deck really benefit from the buffing power of Maverick Hunter and Z-Saber, and the extra removal that Maverick provides is going to be doubled down on top of Demonic Intimidation, so you can push through victories before your opponent can really set up. So that's pretty much the deck, you guys. It is an aggressive mono purple, kind of a little tempo build. You've got a little bit of removal, you've got a little bit of negation, and you've got a lot of buffs and annoying flying creatures. So here's the QR code if you guys want to give it a shot, and we shall go into a few replays that I have from free fights that were pretty fun, and I hope you enjoy them. So let's get to the games. All right, so we've got against a Dark Destruction there. Now that is a little bit annoying, because Dark Destruction, they have so much destruction, surprise surprise, so it's going to be a little difficult to push our damage through theoretically. So we've got a nice Pyrobat there. Gonna start applying that pressure, see what he does. He's got the Fate of the Unworthy. That's gonna destroy our MP cost 4 less Pyrobat, but we might as well take advantage of our action MP and get rid of that Vial there, because I don't need that sitting there beating away at me, you know what I mean? And now we've got Palomu and Oro, and I'm getting a little antsy just because I don't want to fall into a trap where I only have cards that I want to ascend with, like Palomu and Oro. So I definitely want to play this Hell Antenora first. And then I've got Palomu too, might as well drop that down, get ready for something. And he's got Murderous Spikes. Luckily, we've got the Z-Saber, which is going to buff our Hell Antenora's attack up out of the range of that Murderous Spike. So I'm pretty happy with that. Then he goes for a Living Death, which we've got a decent amount to deal with, just because the Hell Antenora, when it takes damage, now it's going to do that 3 damage, and that should take out 2 zombies nice and swiftly. Yeah, like that's what we like to see. Now he's got an Alfred, which is quite annoying because I had that Quetzalcoatl. It's 3 MP, so I decided to Oro over it and just take it out. So then we're going with Maverick Hunter, try to buff things up. And I assumed he would go with a removal spell there, but we had the Empress Desire. Desire. Correct me on that one. So I kind of knew we'd have an answer to that, so that's why I went for that. Pretty nifty, pretty nifty. And now we've got just a lot of flying creatures, and we should be able to beat him down here. Although this is a little awkward that you see. Ooh, so I didn't really want to play anything because then it would like waste my Quetzalcoatl's effects, or I would just lose my card to the zombie. So he ends up going for an Alexia, which opens up space for me. So I'm okay with that. And then he goes for another Murderous Spikes. This poor man. I've got the Maverick Hunter. That's gonna boost my Kechawacha up to a 4-9. Oh, and he's like, no, can't do that. Can't deal with that. Kechawacha is too strong. So there you go. Just the buffs on the flyers, they're so hard to deal with if your opponent doesn't have a lot of flyers. And yeah, so let's check out this other one against another zero. Another zero. We'll see how they play, how we play. Let's go. And this guy has also managed to get stretched just into champion. Oracle, shout out to him. He's active on the Twitterverse. So I think I wasn't sure about this hand, but you know what? We've got buffs. We've got Hell Antenora, and we've got Demonic Intimidation. So that allows us to, you know, return some spells to the opponent's, some creatures to the opponent's hand. But we're probably going to have to keep our Hell Antenor alive here, or else we're just going to get clogged up the wazoo with spells. So we're just going for Oro straight away. Hopefully we can get into our flyers now, which it looks like is happening. Weakness. Oro's not going to do anything there, but got to take advantage of that response action MP. He's got the counter, but I notice he's at 0. And if I let that Trish, so that Trish has Resonate +1/+1. If I leave it there, it's going to be a problem. So I go ahead and negate his negate fight. And yeah, and then he uses his hero art, and I was like, dang it, I want to use my hero art too. I better play something. So I think what I want to do is play Jury, or I think what I do is play Jury just to drop that Jagras' health down. Then I can get my hero art, so I can respond to his hero art whenever he wants to play it. And we're kind of chilling here. We are sitting at memory count 2, so once we get a few more memory counts, then I think we'll be good to go. We can start grabbing back spells from the graveyard, which should be pretty solid. So he goes with Demonic Intimidation. On the Jury is kind of interesting to me. I feel like, I don't know why he didn't do it on the Oro. Big brain scratch. So what I do is I go for Z-Saber, try to buff up our Oro, trying to bait it so he would use some MP, is what I thought. So I figure if he uses some MP to buff Trish out of the range of Z-Saber, because Z-Saber makes Oro 4 attack, that Trish had 4 HP, then he's going to use up all his MP, he won't be able to negate, and we can use the Maverick to take him down, which we do. Using the good old noggin. Using the good old noggin, so keep that in mind. And now we just got a lot of flyers going down. So feeling in a pretty good spot. I don't want to lose that flyer there, but I don't really know what to do about it. And I can't play a response here because I believe we're at memory count 4, so I would end up losing a card, which is like kind of feels bad. So we just go for the Jury, trying to open up our EX pocket at the same time. And yeah. A lot of this deck is managing the EX pocket, so you have to keep that in mind. So that's what I do, is I'm going to empty my EX pocket, assuming he responds with something. Then I can fill up with this guy, right? With the Revelation. Get 2 cards back in my EX pocket. Unfortunately, he has a Demonic Intimidation this time. So now we kind of accidentally didn't add a card back from our graveyard to our EX pocket, but that shouldn't matter that much. We got a nice little Kechawacha activation to halt there. And the flight damage coming through slowly but surely. It's hard to block. Dang, have you noticed we didn't take any damage yet? We've been on the aggressive. You got to keep them on their toes, keep the opponent on the back foot. They're always going to have to be responding to flight. So he's got Maverick, takes out one of our flyers. Crap, because that one was the one that was going to win us the game. So what I do, Demonic Intimidation the bottom, so Oro can come through. He plays another Maverick, and it hits our Oro, so this guy's RNG is insane. But we get him down to 1 with our Kechawacha at the very least, right? And then I'm like, you know what, Palomu can do some work here. Should be able to ping that 1 damage, but the freaking Jury, man. Look at this Jury. Take a look at her. come on, is gonna go ahead, yep, and drop our Palomu a little bit too low. So I try to buff it up, go for the kill. He's got the return with the parry. So just go ahead and destroy his creature. And this is actually what I noticed, that I hadn't really taken any damage, I think, in the game. It was like, oh man, I'm so close to killing him. And then I was like, wait a second, I got 30 life to work with. This should be no sweat. No sweat. So then we're just, okay, you know what? Let's just drop our Pyro Bat, see if it gets there. And my poor man is out of flying units. Sometimes that's just how it goes. Sometimes that's how it goes. So right up there again is the deck. This is a free to play Zero deck. Keep that in mind. And I hope you guys try it out, enjoy it. It's definitely a fun deck. Just see what Zero is all about. There are definitely other versions of Zero out there. So I would suggest you join the TEPPEN community Discord and talk to people about what Zeros they're running. There is a very, very heavy control Zero that I've seen running around. It's like mostly spells, fours, which if you guys don't know is a powerful engine that Zero can take advantage of very well. Let me show you guys what that looks like real quick. So this is like an upgraded version of Zero that you might want to try. My version is, this is my version of fours. It's a little wonky. It uses these cards, Exposed Evil Eye and Accelerated Thought, to generate more MP. So they don't actually give you extra MP if you play them normally, but if you play them on response, they give you the MP boost. And the point is that you can just cycle them without worrying about losing MP, and you can sometimes get extra MP and then just like pop, 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 pop. I will probably make a mini deck guide on this deck in particular just to talk about it, or make something like really focused on that. So if you guys want to try that out and you have the cards, that's the QR code right there for you. So that is it for the Zero deck guide. Definitely check out some decks, because there's some pretty cool stuff that Zero can do. And I hope you enjoyed this free-to-play deck guide, and enjoy your time with Zero, time playing TEPPEN. And as we always do here, keep on learning, keep on having fun. And I'll see you all in another video. Peace.